Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and today we're going to do a comparison between the Master and Dynamic and the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless. You've been asking for it. Let's go ahead and check it out. Over the last few weeks, we've been comparing the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless earbuds. We've looked at how they compare to the Jabra Elite 65Ts. We also looked at the EarN. Now, one of the things that I've been getting in the comment area from you is, this is a different class earbud. Let's face it, it's $299 and has superior audio quality. It's a Sennheiser. So the comments have also led me to consider Master and Dynamic. The question was, how do they compare to another equal in class earbud? So this is a $299 earbud, which I would put in a higher category when it comes to not just price, but also audio quality. How does it compare against the Sennheiser? So in this review, we're going to cover many aspects, just like we've done before. We're also going to include a call quality test in a cafe. We're going to talk about audio quality. I'm also going to share with you some of the songs I was listening to when doing the audio tests. And also, I had these tested with at least 4 different individuals to tell me what they thought about the audio quality. So let's get right into the review, and let's see what we'll cover.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell icon to get notified when new videos become available.
So in this review, we're going to cover several things about these products. We're going to talk about the audio quality. That's going to be the very first thing because that's the most important thing for many of you, given the type of earbuds that we're looking at. We'll talk about battery life. We'll look at call quality. So we're going to have a coffee shop call quality test so you can hear what happens if you take a phone call. What do they actually sound like? We're going to talk about also pocketability. If you were to put these in your pocket, are they going to stand out? And how easy can you carry them? We're also going to talk about the fit. How easy are they in your ears? Do they fit well? We'll talk about Bluetooth connectivity, audio syncing, which is always a big question. If you're watching Netflix, if you're watching YouTube, how does that work? And then we'll also talk about the overall features of their apps. So let's get right to it. So the first thing we're going to cover is battery life. So as we take a look at here the Sennheiser do a really nice job. You're going to get 4 hours of battery life, and you'll be able to recharge them 2 times in the case, and you're going to get up to 12 additional hours of usage, which is pretty respectable for this type of earbud. Now, as we take a look at the next earbud, this is the Master and Dynamics one, things have changed a little bit. 3.5 hours, so it's just a half an hour shy from the Sennheisers. But what changes, though, is that the case, you can actually get 3 charges out of the case. So that's going to give you 14 hours of battery life. Next, let's talk about audio quality. So the Momentum True Wireless earbuds sound really good. There's really no argument there. They have full bass. They have great mids and highs. Really high definition when it comes to listening to music. You can really hear the instrumentation of the audio that you're listening to the music really, really well. And they have also great noise isolation. So as you have them in your ear, that also creates a great experience. Now, the Master and Dynamics that we have here, I have to tell you, these rock. These are absolutely amazing. And the biggest difference is that I find that the bass on these is very, I would say not only is it warm, but it's also very detailed. So I was listening to some tracks, which I'm going to show you in a second, and each of these tracks had highs, mids, and lows, had also, the music was switching from earbud to earbud based on the music that we were listening to. And what kept on standing out with these was the bass. The bass was just more vibrant, had more depth to it, and I really enjoyed the audio quality coming from these. And again, it was a close call between the Sennheisers here and the Master and Dynamics, but these came ahead. All right, so let's talk about the music that I was looking at as I was doing the comparison. And I did this comparison with 4 different people. I asked them to listen to the same tracks, and we listened to the tracks 4 times. We listened to it once with the Sennheiser. Then we immediately switched earbuds and we tried them with the Master and Dynamics. We did that for every single song. And we reviewed, I think it was about 7 different songs that we looked at. We looked at modern songs and also some oldies. And let me just share with you some of the ones that we looked at right here. So we looked at Bohemian Rhapsody, which I think is a great song from Queen. And that song, let me pause that, is, again, really exercises, I think, really well the earbuds. And it also has that shift between left and right. We did the acapella version and then the full experience version. We also looked at the second one right here that we had from Queen, You're My Best Friend. And that one has a really good, at the very beginning, has a drum roll, really nice intro with drums. And we could hear how much more alive it felt. There was just more warmth to it, especially with the master and dynamics. Now, keep in mind that the Sennheisers didn't stay behind, but they seemed to do much better when it came to the master and dynamics. We just felt that it was more vivid, the highs, the mids, everything was much clearer. And I have to say that, if I were to put these against like the Jabras or some of the other ones that we looked on the channel, arguably, you don't even have to argue. They're going to be, these are better in every way, but when you're comparing Sennheiser to Master and Dynamics, it's much, much closer, but I have to say that Master and Dynamics did really well. Now, the other song that we looked at, and I'll just go here on my phone to the next one, is we were listening to the Beatles, and we were looking at the Beatles' Hey Jude. We did this, again, listening to the tracks. We did it on 4 different people. We went through each earbud, so we played the full song on one, and then immediately after played it on the second. And sometimes I had to go a second time because people said it was so close, but they continued to favor Master and Dynamics for that. We also looked at some modern songs, so we went, a little bit something more modern. So you'll notice here we went to Lucas Graham, Love Someone. Everybody felt that it was just a great experience also. There was a lot more detail in the music. Even though the Sennheisers did well, there was just a feeling that the Master and Dynamic did better there. We also looked at Ed Sheeran. And in Ed Sheeran, what we were looking at was, this is another one of the songs that I really like, Thinking Out Loud. So we looked at Thinking Out Loud, and again, that was another song. We also went into 80s, we did some rock and roll. But everyone kept on saying that the Master and Dynamic did much better. Again, we're talking about the bass was more vibrant. We felt that it was louder, even at the same audio settings. And then also we felt that everything, mids, highs, and bass, the separation was just there. It just felt much better. So I hope that helps you understand where we're coming from when we looked at these. And remember, I bought these, so this is not sponsored. This is my unbiased opinion of these 2 high-end earbuds. Again, you wouldn't go wrong, but let me tell you this. If you want the one that has the best bass, and I'm not talking about head-pounding bass, I'm talking about high-quality bass, Master and Dynamics got it. So now let's talk about Bluetooth connectivity. The Sennheisers have Bluetooth 5.0, and the Master and Dynamic have Bluetooth 4.2. How much is that going to be to you as far as the difference? I can tell you that in my testing, I really didn't see much of a difference, if any at all, when it came to distance, using it. In a room, walking into another room with the earbuds in my ear, didn't lose any kind of signal strength. Also having it in my pocket, in my back pocket, front pocket, didn't impact anything. But from a spec perspective, definitely the Sennheiser has it over the Master and Dynamic. So now let's talk about the mics. For call quality, the Sennheiser has a 2 mic array, while the Master and Dynamics only has the omnidirectional mic. So the call quality test, what you're going to see next, is going to be really important. Let's check it out.
Earbuds to the W7. See what these look like.
Full of cars and getting served coffee, noisy background. What do you think about the audio quality? Alright guys, so these are the Sennheisers. Nice and true wireless. Cars in the drive-thru can serve their coffee to the ground and things, and a lot of chatter going on. What do you think about the audio quality of the Sennheiser? Let me know in the commentary as well.
So as you saw there, the Sennheisers really blew away the Master and Dynamic earbuds. Call quality was absolutely abysmal. It was really disappointing. But some of you have said on the channel, as we reviewed the Sennheisers and how they didn't perform well in comparison to the Jabras, that was the least of your worries. So if you are an audiophile and all you care about is how good music sounds, then I wouldn't put too much weight when it comes to call quality. So next, let's talk about fit. So from a fit perspective, let me go ahead and put these in so you can see. And we're going to wear one in each ear so you can see what it looks like in a second. So these are the Master and Dynamic. They have a really interesting look and feel. They have these interesting fins right here that give you some really good support. They have these buttons that are physical buttons, which I think are better than the Sennheiser's touch sensitivity. I like that these perform well. They are responsive, and sometimes I find that with the Sennheisers I have some issues just getting them to work. But let's take a look at what they look like. So what you do is you put them in your ear like this and twist, and they're in place. And then you put this one in your ear like this and you twist. So this is what they look like in your ear. Tell me, do you think they're too large? Do they look like they're standing out? Just take a look at it. I'm going to turn my head this way for a second, and you can see how they sit in your ear. And then I'm going to turn my ear this way so you can see what it looks like. They don't fall out. They are very, very comfortable. Even though the shape is kind of weird on the outside, the ear canal kind of is very, very comfy. I find that they feel better than the Sennheisers. And also the weight is pretty good too. So here it is again. Do it this way. And once again, with the shake test, they're not going to fall out. So now let's take a look at the Sennheisers. All right, so these are the Sennheisers. What do you think about the overall look? Do they seem like they stand out more? And again, what I'm going to do in a second is I'm going to take one Sennheiser out and I'm going to put the Master and Dynamic in so you can see the comparison. So take a look at this. What do you think? I'm going to turn this way. And I'm going to turn this way. Now both of these give you awesome, I'd say, noise isolation. Again, passive. This is just because of the ear gel going in and how deep it goes in your ear. So they're really good about cutting everything out. But it comes down to also fit and feel. So with these, while I can't complain that they've hurt my ears, I just feel that the other one's a little bit more comfy. Let's go ahead and put one of the Master and Dynamics in, and we'll leave this one in from the Sennheiser so you can see the comparison. All right, so let's go ahead and put this one out. I'm going to grab the other one, and we're going to put it in our ear here. All right, so I'm going to shift over to the side. That's what one looks like. That's what the other looks like. This is what they both look like. Which one do you think stands out more? This one or this one? One more time. And again, they don't fall out. And they both have what I would, in my opinion, is good noise isolation coming from both. So next, let's talk about IPX rating. Both the Sennheiser and the Master and Dynamics have an IPX rating of 4, which means it's okay to use them in the gym. It's okay to go running with them. Not in the pool though. So sweat-proof and splash-proof, not waterproof. So how's the video sync? So with both of these, either the Master and Dynamics and the Sennheiser, you really can't go wrong. Both of them maintain sync when watching YouTube. Both of them maintain sync when watching Netflix. Really, video and audio sync stays in place with both, so there's no problem with either. All right, so next let's talk about the app, or shall we say the lack of an app. So the Master and Dynamic earbud has no app, and there's pros and cons to that. So first of all, the fact that it has no app means that you can't configure, you can't modify, there's no EQ. But at the same time, I found that unlike other earbuds that you need an app to really get the true experience, with these, they sound great without having an app. Now, the Sennheisers, as we saw in our other videos, they do have an app. And as you can see here, that app gives you a lot of flexibility. So you do have the ability to see your earbud charging rate, which you can't hear. You also have the ability to configure things like your hear-through technology, which the Master and Dynamic does not have. Not only can you turn this on or off, but you can also determine if you want to listen to music at the same time as this is on or off. You also have EQ settings, which you don't have in the Master Dynamic. A very unique way that you can configure to get the best experience. And a matter of fact, even though that these out of the box have great bass, you can configure and highlight the bass on these a little bit more. So that gives you some more flexibility because of the app. So which one of these earbuds comes on top? The Master and Dynamic or the Sennheiser? Do you feel that this is the best one? It really comes down to music preference. In my opinion, and the opinion of 4 others that went through the testing with me, the Master and Dynamics tended to have the best audio quality. But the Sennheisers were the best all-around performers, meaning they had the best app, because there was none. They also had hear-through technology, and let's face it, they had the best call quality. So here's your choice. If you're looking for something that has the best all-around performance, then I would say Sennheiser. if you're an audiophile and you're really looking for the best music experience, this is the way to go. So guys, that concludes our comparison of the Master and Dynamics compared to the Sennheiser True Wireless Earbuds. Which one would you prefer? Let me know in the comment area. Which one will you be buying this holiday season? $2.99 each, so these are equal when it comes to price. And from audio quality, you know which one I feel is best. See you in the next one. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you all at CES.